Hi, I'm Ty Burhoe. I'm going to show you in this video how to put the slack back into the straps of a drum where the head is way too tight. There's two tools you'll need for this. One is the hook, again, same thing you need for the high drum, very handy. Two is the needle nose pliers, same thing you need for the high drum. And those of you who like coffee, a latte is required. Okay, so this part of the process is taking this drum, which is too high, and we're going to take some of the slack back into the straps and distribute it so that the head is in balance. Okay, so like we did in the demonstration for the high drum, we want to undo straps. And so we're going to leave this knot alone. Okay, treat that as our original knot. And we don't need all this extra slack, so I'm going to use the cutting edge of my needle nose pliers to cut the strap and pull it out. Okay, there's no need for that, it's just in the way. Alright, so now we have our original knot where this strap is going underneath the bottom ring and then forming the knot. The slack going out away from this knot. Alright, so I'm going to undo this knot here. I'm going to undo this knot here and take that out, and because I'm going to want to retie this knot anyway properly, I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out all together. Okay, so good. Now what I'm going to do is take the hook and just pull a little slack into the drum. Now I'm probably going to need a little bit more than that because I want to distribute it all the way to about halfway. This half will loosen up naturally. So I'm going to take out a teeny bit more. Don't want to take out too much. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is retie the knot at the bottom so I can really crank on this side a little bit. The knots are much cleaner and work better if we make it a mimic of this one. Okay, so I'm going to pull this one taut. That's where the old knot was right there. So we've pulled out at least a good inch, maybe 2 inches of slack into the drum. I'm going to retie this properly, which means go underneath. This is underneath the ring. Go back underneath that strap and then away from that knot. Okay? And that will give us a mirror image knot there. Okay? So I'm just going to tighten this down a little bit. Give it a little flat with the hammer, and voila, we have a knot. And I'm going to take slack from this, the closest location where it's going around the ring from where the slack is. I'm going to grab it there and pull it, but not pull it super tight. Just kind of, so it's, you know, a little bit of tension there. Go up here, go to this area, so it makes it easier to pull on. Alright. And this strap hasn't been ever pulled before, so it's a little, you know, a little stiff where it turns around. And I'm not pulling that much tension into it. Okay, after I've done this maybe 2 or 3 times, there's a little bit of, it's dropping down. There's a little bit of tension there. I mean, a little bit of slack, so. Okay, it's coming down. At least it sounds like a bass drum now. I'm going to pull this, I'm pulling a little less every time. Okay, so I'm distributing it over half the drum. And a little less. See, now I've got not that much slack there. A little less. A little less. Okay, so we've distributed the slack and now we've got a nicer low note on the bion. Now some people like it down at this pitch. And some people like it a little bit higher. So what I'm going to do is show you how to pull back the slack. If you've put too much slack into a drum, or for example at the point at which we stopped, it's a little bit higher. When you go around and tune a drum, you want to maybe, you can skip every other one or so. It's less critical than on the dial, but you want to make sure that the pitch is basically the same. It's harder to tell on this drum, but there's slight differences between those. Slight differences are okay, unless you want to get really picky, like with Zakir Hussein's drums. They're tuned so beautifully that I'll tune at every spot between the straps, and if it's uneven anywhere, I'll take that slack and I'll just pull it a little bit this direction and put that slack at a spot where it was too high, so you can do fine adjustments using your hook without untying your knots at all. You can redistribute the strap pretty easily once you know how to do it. Okay, but in this case, to finish this demo, I'm going to take some of the slack out of the drum now and reverse that process so you can see that. And I'm going to start here and move towards the knot that we just got done retying. Okay, I'm just pulling a little bit of slack back. Now it's probably a better pitch for this drum, and got one more strap to do. And if it sounds good, we've gotten to the knot here. It sounds good. There we go. Okay, so now it's at the pitch we want it to stay at. So I'm going to turn the drum over, and using the needle nose pliers, pull that slack back out. Okay, now I'm hopefully not adjusting this at all. I want to leave that as much as I can the way it is, and just pull enough slack so this becomes taut against the drum. Then I'm going to retie that same special knot underneath. And underneath there. Then we're off and running here. Okay, just a little bit of pulling that tension in. Good. Pull that through, clean it up. So it's nice to tuck everything and make it as clean as possible. Just like that. Okay, so now that's the pitch that this drum seems to like the best. So that is the process for redistributing slack into the straps. And the two tools that we needed for that were the needle nose pliers, very critical. These are available at any hardware store, or you can get them off my website. It's very nice to make sure they have a wire cutting area at the base, because that's great for cutting a strap or a wire or anything like that. The other tool that's really important, it saves your hands, of course, is the hook. So check out the hooks on my website. Those are available there. And nice to have your hammer handy, but you guys all have that anyway. Okay,